GTS.
6.
Good to swallow?
What?
Hey, yo.
Pause.
Play?
Wait. No.
Hey,
Howdy, bitch.
how's it going?
How you doing?
Welcome back to Coming Up for Air, an introspective podcast. I'm your co-host, Jaxon.
I'm your co-host, Brendan.
We got a special guest today.
I guess.
What up? What up? Introduce yourself. This is...
I am Kobe Smith. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Any surnames, any pronouns you want to announce there?
Himothy.
Mm-hmm. There. Had to. Got to throw it out there.
Himothy, Himron.
Don't be afraid to get up in the...
I'll get all up in here.
He's got the hemorrhoids. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Facts. I've been on hemorrhoids for a long time.
Yeah, if you put a finger up his butt, he's got the hemorrhoids on
Yeah.
him.
Hemorrhoids and Hennessy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't drink, but
What
yeah.
a great intro this is.
It's fantastic. Hell yeah. But yeah, this is it's funny because these are like two of like probably the most influential people in my life, let alone my best friends, and this is the first time technically like of them like meeting. I feel like I always like have certain people like that in my life that like they're like certain like staples in my life, but they don't know other parts of my life, and it's just like it's really cool for me at least to have like obviously like the two of my like close people to come together.
You know what that means? It can only end one of two ways. We either have to kill each other or make out.
And both of you have socks on.
I'm okay
so
with both of that. Both of those.
We're all vansed up.
We
Yeah.
are.
We're all repping.
Yeah. Shout out.
gang
shit.
sponsor us, fans.
It probably looks a little bit odd because I'm in the middle with my legs up. So,
It's all good.
Van sponsorship is my dream.
Imagine, bro.
that'd be crazy. That's your dream sponsorship?
Yeah, if I'm honest, that's probably my dream sponsorship. Ooh, somebody's home.
Ooh, somebody just came home.
It's probably Jeff. Anyway, but yeah, no, that's my dream. I like van kicks. I'd get some sweet kicks for free.
Yeah, that'd be dope. When I was a couple years back, I started drinking my sparkling water, right?
Mhm.
And I posted on my Instagram that I wanted to get a sponsorship from Perrier. So one day, Perrier and me, we're going to be like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The dream?
Yeah, that's the dream.
Oh, shit. We'll
I don't
talk
know
about your
why.
sparkling water later.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
So this episode is going to be kind of just about Kobe and get into his whole life and his content and all that stuff and some other things. But yeah, we don't really have anything super specific, but they
Yeah.
got a plan, I think.
Yeah, if you had to say like, if someone was like, who is Kobe Smith? What is Kobe Smith? Like, what do you do? Like, if you had to tell somebody like, I do.
Wait, we'll get there.
Well, just because I know we introed him, but it's not like
Yeah, but
I feel you.
leave the mystery.
All right, yeah, no, I get you. We'll wait on it.
But let's do a check-in. Brendan, want to talk about getting 69?
Hella, bro. If you're on social media right now, I mean, I think everyone watched Mr. 69 get his absolute just shit rocked. He got jumped at an LA Fitness. I mean, the video kind of speaks for itself.
Who is
and
Mr. 69?
If you don't know who Mr. 69 Tekashi is, he is a rainbow-colored hair rapper who internet trolls and just starts beef with other rappers who are known to be quote unquote the most dangerous or the most deadliest that we know. And he's still alive running around, which kind of proves and says a lot about, you know, the culture and stuff like that in which like the rap game is and stuff like that. And he kind of just basically tries to test all the boundaries and limits that there are. And it started because when he was up and coming in his fame, he basically was around like a bunch of bloods and was in like all this quote unquote gang shit, but it was really just a bunch of hired gangbangers that he didn't really know and come up with. And they basically played his ass and got him caught up in like a whole bunch of money laundering and like basically just a bunch of stupid ass shit, committed a bunch of crimes. And then he snitched on all of them, like basically ratted out the entire operation. And then from then on, he was known as like a rat, and got labeled in the entire industry as a rat. And then came out, it was like, you guys would have done the same thing. And then basically like said like, oh, this rapper's soft, like, oh, he's pussy, yada yada, this and that, and just started doing a whole bunch of trolling. And then it kind of just took off from there. But I mean, still goes to show that people do not like this man. He went out in public. He was working at LA Fitness, got caught lacking, no security. And this dude just whipped his ass. A couple dudes whipped his ass. Stomped him out. If you see the picture, he has like his whole like side of the face is basically like out and just like in a circle shape because it's just so swollen, and yeah, it's really fucked up. And he got his absolute ass beat. And I thought he had put out like a backlash video, and I was trying to find it, but I mean, there's only so much that you can really say or do. And I think his security put out something like, oh, something about them lacking or just wasn't there, some shit about it.
His wife or the mother of his child put out a video saying that it was embarrassing.
Oh, yeah, for his daughter?
She said it was embarrassing to their family and their daughter that he got jumped. Yeah.
What a wild response to that.
Exactly. It's like nothing about like his safety, no concerns about him.
Yeah, way to get
like,
trolled by your own baby mother.
Yeah, what an L.
What an L.
Way to get absolutely just shit on, you know, for not only from the baby mother, but she said like you're a disgrace to the daughter. Like, it's embarrassing. And like, if you read that, like getting sent that on a text message is one thing. Having the whole world see that and be able to comment on that and like put their 2 cents in, like, you got your shit rocked. Sorry, son. You literally got jumped in real life and on the internet.
What an L.
Big L.
He took fat L's. And then he's going to somehow turn it into some fucking trolling, like, yada, yada, probably, and then end up getting a bunch of views off of it. So, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she's saying it. Maybe he told her, like, hey.
To get caught it up?
Interesting. Honestly, bro, we really don't know anything, and I think, like,
he's like, you gotta bully me, make me look like a bitch.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that we have seen when it comes to like the not only clout chasers but like the views and stuff like that, like people will go to any fucking extreme to get like maximize like interaction on their shit. You know what I mean? So I mean, you could be right. I didn't really think about it like that.
It could all just be a big strategic plan. I mean, I don't think that he planned on getting jumped.
I don't think the jumping part is. I think he's trying to pivot.
Nah, because the dude who jumped him can't like put out a video or something like that too, or some bullshit like that. And obviously, like if he would have paid that dude wouldn't have fucked him up that bad.
Nah,
you know what I mean? But yeah, bro, I don't know how you get caught lacking knowing that like you're like the industry rat. You know what I mean? Like I would walk around with like 6'7", like 7-foot dudes with ARs at all times.
There was a tweet that I saw about that, and it was him in the gym, and he's like working out in like some rainbow pants and like or rainbow shorts and like a Montclair puffer jacket. And someone like subtweeted it, and they're like, "Yeah, he deserved to get his ass."
That's a wild,
bro. Because you got to realize that jacket is like a couple G's that you're working out in. You know what I mean? It's not like he's wearing like just some fucking Walmart brand ass shit.
And you said,
you know
where is he at? What type of gym?
Like LA Fitness, like a normal ass gym.
LA Fitness is kind of expensive.
Yeah, but even then, like, it's in Florida. Like, he got jumped in Florida.
Yeah, there's so many private gyms he could have been at or anything.
He was in Florida. That's why he got jumped.
Absolutely.
Hey, Florida boys be crazy.
Yeah, bro. They don't give a fuck at all.
Kobe, hit me with your check-in.
I forgot what my check-in was.
Springtime.
Oh, springtime. Okay, yeah. All right.
Springtime in the land.
Springtime in the land. Land of the free, home of the brave, brother.
America.
Brother.
Hell yeah,
That's
brother.
what it feels like to drive an F-150.
You ever fucked your sister?
You gotta just play the what is it? The Home Depot. The dun, 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 dun. Yeah, springtime. I think it's a beautiful time of year. I think that I don't know, just as like the weather warms up, it's just people are a lot more happy. You know, there's a lot more colors outside.
Not me. I'll tell you what, as soon as it starts to hit that 70 degrees and I can take off my jacket like cleanly, I fucking hate my life because that means 120 is right around the fucking corner, dog.
Hey, but by the time that the 120s come in, you're going to be a unit and a half. So you're going to want to take this stuff.
I'm going to be a fucking
you're gonna be
unit, bro.
Big body bends, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. 110%. And I'm going to be famous if the way this shit plays out the way it should.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Famous and massive.
And boot up.
Shotty my little boo thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Build an army of like 10 kids.
Bro, now you're just taking my game plan. Come on now.
I'm actually going to go to, I an appointment planned to go to the doctor and get my like testosterone and everything counted.
I swear.
Hella.
I have an appointment coming up to go donate to start my army.
Just get your genes out there.
Yeah, bro. Gene pool just got to go crazy.
Hey, but at least you'll know if you produce girls or not, because they'll tell you, be like, yeah, I mean, they probably won't tell you.
No, they ask if you, whenever you go to do donations, sperm donations, they ask you if you're okay with the children reaching out when they turn 18 and if you want information about the child.
I'm going to say, fuck no, gangy. No, I'm kidding.
That's terrible.
I'm going to stay in for all my kids for sure.
I could actually see you being a sperm donor.
Speaking of an army of 10 kids, my family.
Oh yeah, y'all be Mormons.
Yeah, well, the reason why I bring that up is some of them are watching the podcast now.
I remember you said this.
Yeah, which is wild. And you know what? You know what? The first thing all of them have said to me: one, hi. Two is they all go, "Your co-host, your friend cusses a lot," and I'm like, "Yeah." The first words he says is "bitch." So.
And I probably am not even as
Fluid.
a quarter as bad, or I don't even know, than I would be like normally. I feel like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I definitely
tone
try.
it down.
Yeah, I definitely try and like tone it down.
YouTube stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean, to make sure like even for the algorithm, because he's even told me like, hey, I need you to like kind of tone it back a little bit, and I'm like, all right, bet. So like I've tried to like filter out my words and stuff like that. So family, I'm sorry. I love you guys. Don't let the kids watch this. I'm gonna try my best, but I'm also gonna drop them fucking words. You know what I mean?
Anyway, you're hyped about springtime.
Yeah.
Change colors.
Yeah, spring is just, I don't know, it's beautiful. And I just think that it's a good time of year, and I think it's good for the brain, good for your mental health. Just people
You sure
in the
you
world.
live in the same spot?
Yeah, just people in the world, I feel like, are just a bit happier as like spring rolls around. You know, people aren't snowed in.
Well,
not necessarily here, but
that goes back to like Greek mythos. The whole idea of like people being happier in the springtime is because one, winter is ending, which is like the depression state, and originally in Greek mythos, that was when Persephone turned back to like the land of the living, and so everybody was instantly brought and gifted happiness.
Interesting.
Yeah,
learn something new every day. I like that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
You want to talk about the biggest well of fucking just random fucking facts and knowledge that I currently have in my life?
And
it is no book. It is no fucking storage system. I don't give nothing, bro. It's this fucker right here, bro. If I just, hey, bro, do me a favor and just pull a random fact out of your fucking brain. And just, you like
full
process
of knowledge and come back on it. From last week. Yeah.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Oh man. God. But yeah, I mean, springtime's pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's pretty cool. Like today's, it's always windy. I think any springtime is always like super fucking windy because we're still obviously getting away from like the cold bullshit from winter.
Wait, so springtime's your favorite like time of year? Or what was it called? Season?
Yeah, I'd say that spring is my favorite season.
What's your favorite season, bud? Done. I was really thinking about this.
Yeah, well, because it's either winter or like fall.
You had like that DLS boot up noise going on for a second.
Yeah, hella. Because I fuck with the cold. I don't know why. I prefer the cold over like.
I love me the winter.
I hate hot. Okay, but you like a different type of cold. You like where you should be freezing, but he's not.
Yeah, that's what I love. Hey.
We went up north and it's fucking snow, like damn near blizzard, bro. Motherfucker turns on the windows, blast music. He's like,
yeah, dude,
freezing, bro. And I'm sitting there like.
You gotta love that cold weather.
Yeah. Something about it's just like the air is so crisp, you know? You take a breath in, it's just like, it feels good.
I think part of that's where you grow up at, though. Because I know people who grew up in, like, snow and, like, cold, and they're like, I would never want to be around this shit again if I could avoid it for my life.
Well, that's how my parents are, and they grew up in New York and, you know, lived in New York, and my dad was like, I'm just glad I don't have to shovel fucking snow out of my driveway.
Yeah, I can imagine that probably sucks.
Yeah.
But also, I want snow.
Until you have to fucking snubble shot in your driveway and shit like that.
Yeah.
Shovel snow, salt. Put salt down on things. You got to worry about cars sliding around in black ice.
Yeah,
have you seen those videos of like?
I've been in the car when it does that.
Oh, you've been in a car
I was
sliding
driving.
around? Oh, that's so scary.
I was going up north. I was actually coming down, and I was in my Jeep.
It's even worse.
Yeah, I was in the Jeep.
Which,
to be fair, makes me feel better because at least that has like the roll cage.
Yeah, but it's also not the newest or the greatest running.
But it was better running back then.
Oh, okay.
When this happened. But yeah, I'm driving, and it's a car about 15 feet in front of me, and I see them start spinning slowly, and then I start spinning slowly, and we both just and we like make eye contact to look at each other, and go. As we both just kind of like slowly shift, and then our wheels end on the ice, and we
just
like, shift back.
In.
Yeah, we're like,
Jeez.
Okay.
And that's even scarier because coming down that mountain, I couldn't even fucking imagine
it was
sliding.
It wasn't on the downhill, which is nice. It wasn't like complete downhill. It was like the slight slope, but not when it was like, the really big one.
That's what I was thinking when you're coming down like the side of the hill. It's just like all I
fucked.
think of is like guardrail.
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
fucked.
Over the edge.
And if you hit the guardrail a certain way and your car's going over it, you're fucked.
No, this is like 20 miles out of the city.
Oh, okay.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, good then.
It's like that barren straight land.
Anyway, I want to talk about Resident Evil.
Oh.
So Resident Evil 4 came out, the remake. It's been good, man.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, it's been really fun. So Resident Evil, have either of you played Resident Evil?
I have not played Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 4, it's got Leon, and he's just a one-liner machine. Like 80s action movie one-liner. Like it's just the most asinine. Like, oh, this is so cringy, but so good. So it's just goofy as fuck, and it looks beautiful. I think the Resident Evil games are honestly some of the most beautiful games that have been developed in the past 5 years. They've done a really good job with their engine.
Considering it used to look like real dog shit.
Yeah.
Is Rockstar behind them too or no?
No, they are Capcom.
Okay.
So
they used to have the Capcom fucking graphics, man. I definitely do remember that.
Yeah, but now they created their own engine, which I think it's just the RE engine. Okay. And it's like really fucking pretty games, and so they're doing a really good job over there. But it feels good, man. It's like one of the first Resident Evils that I played, so I got real good attachment to it. Along with that, like Resident Evil is a series that I really bonded with my mom, so it like came at the perfect time for me. So I'm feeling really, really good. It's like a good form of like grieving also. So it's been fun streaming that. I haven't decided if I'm 100%ing it yet or not. I'm just kind of enjoying the wild roller coaster that I'm on. But it's a good time, man.
Yeah, are there any like good jump scares or anything like that, or any good pop outs? Any good thrill parts?
There's definitely thrill parts. It's not super jump scare heavy. I've definitely had the shit scared out of me. I think I have some clips on TikTok right now. I just had one. It's like almost at a K, and it's me getting scared by a cow. But like, there's not like any like horror movie jump scare typical stuff, but
just cows.
Just cows. It's got some suspense in there though, but it's definitely a little action movie at times. But the jump scares are gonna come when the new Outlast comes out. I'm playing that one with Jeff, which is my roommate.
The new Outlast?
It's the horror game. You use a camera to see with night vision.
I'm good.
It's like one of the most popular.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
good. Yeah, the third one's coming out, and it's gonna be co-op. So Jeff wants to play with me.
Absolutely not.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun stream.
That's like that Unreal Engine game that dude created. It was like a body cam, and so you saw everything from a body cam view, and you're basically walking through the woods, and you have a pistol, and you're walking through the woods, and you'll like hear shit, and you have to turn, but your whole body's turning. Yeah. So the flash of it follows after what you're actually hearing. So the noise will come first.
Yeah.
And then the flash of the body cam, and then he's like walking into like an abandoned house, and then like he hears like something rumbling across on the right side, and he like as he turns, he sees the back two of hind like a hind leg like of a girl.
like some Blair Witch shit.
Yeah, bro. And then he hears like the bitch like running up the house and certain shit like that. As soon as I heard that and saw that, I was like, click, we're done with this. Fuck this shit. Fuck that game. Go fuck your. I don't know why you created that game, but it was really cool mechanic wise. Like you reloaded and you saw everything from like body cam, and it was really cool, just like mechanic wise. And I was like, that's cool. I would never play that, but good for him. That looks like a dope game.
Love me.
Do you like scary things?
I love horror stuff.
Okay.
I am such a little baby, but I love horror stuff.
Interesting.
What about you?
I'm a big bitch, so no.
Yeah, I definitely stay as far away as possible.
Yeah, when I was growing up,
it's because we're not white.
Yeah, it's because I'm white. It's growing up, I never was really into it because I was so scared. Because I've always had really bad nightmares, and so that was like part of it. It was like I just made it worse. But now I've adjusted to the fact that like this is just kind of my life. And my mom has always been into horror stuff, and so over the past like 4 years, like right before COVID,
You just made friends with your demons.
right before the pandemic, I started getting into horror and stuff a lot more. And now I've become friends with being afraid all the time.
Hell yeah.
I
You and
definitely
the demons getting tight, baby.
Yeah.
I definitely had like terrible nightmares when I was a kid. I remember the kids in school, they did like the Bloody Mary in the bathroom one time.
Yeah.
And I remember I went home to shower that day, and like I kept like my head outside of the shower, like looking just to make sure nothing was happening.
Like washing your hair and like you're like trying so hard to not get the water in your eyes, so you don't have to close your eyes.
You close your eyes for 3 seconds. You're like,
and you're like, this is it, I'm dying.
Yeah,
absolutely, bro. That shit.
that's like is that like a universal? Everybody just like everybody just has the same.
Growing up as a kid, especially if you watch a scary movie and a bitch either gets snatched up in the shower or somebody or like.
Do you guys ever see it?
I was gonna say,
yeah, but it's not that scary though. I don't think
like the
the
drain scene
yeah.
with the hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what movie it was, but I think it was The Thing or something or
Hey, tell me what happens,
Ring?
and I got you.
where somebody's in the shower and then like somebody's getting a hand put through like the curtain and it's like a big ass fucking.
That's the
hand.
Grudge.
The Grudge, yeah, that's what it was. And so
I got you.
And you start to like see the fucking hand go through the curtain and stuff like that. And then the bitch like sees the hand and is like looking, and then all of a sudden she like goes to like grab it or like pull the curtain, and it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck no, bro. Absolutely not, bro. And then from like then on, I would like hurry up, and then you have to like look at the curtain, bro.
Yeah.
And you like shut up. You're like, all right, bro, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Absolutely.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Hereditary?
Nope.
No.
Okay. There's a scene in it that is like my iconic horror scene, which is that it's a shot that you see 3 times throughout the film, and it's like a dark shot of the guy in his room. And everything looks normal, but if you look closely in the top right corner, the mom is on the ceiling in the corner, like spider climbing. And then as he moves to go out of frame, you see her
Move
like
along the wall.
crawl across the ceiling. And so now I always check corners in rooms, like
Just to make sure nobody's crawling up there.
yeah, dude. Like,
Fuck
you check around, like you check the room around you. I check up. I'm like, fuck.
Well, at least we have
She coming.
everyone at every angle looking. You know what I mean? Like we're all gonna have to walk into a building together. You know what I mean?
How often do you check ceilings?
Like, what do you mean?
Like you go into a building, how often do you actually look up in the building?
Every time I
Well,
walk in.
yeah, you and effing corners of the room.
I mean, I feel like it depends on the building, but I feel like I would say pretty often because I
Yeah.
try and check my like surroundings in general.
Okay.
Why?
I just feel like not a lot of people just like look up. Yeah,
They've
people
got
don't
no
look
sense of
up.
verticality.
Yeah, it's like people like look around, right?
Yeah.
Like people are very aware of everything happening on like the base level, but when it comes to like anything above them, I feel like it just over people's heads.
Yeah.
Unless you're really short.
Yeah, I think the
have to
creepiest
look
clip,
up.
like from a horror movie I saw, was the that dude who's like facing in like one way, and then that red faced demon is like right behind him. It like the way the camera pans is like it starts on his shoulder, and then like as it comes over this way, the demon like appears like right behind him. I don't know. I think it wasn't Sinister. It was
Insidious?
Insidious. Yeah, that shit. And I saw that clip on Twitter, and I was like, that's all I needed to watch.
Cities is kind of scary.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cities 2, I think, is more scary.
Have you
good.
seen what is it? I think it's called The Devil Inside.
Yeah,
seen that one?
Devil Within,
Is
or
that the
something like
name of it?
that.
I'm not sure. My mom, she likes scary movies because she's white.
It's a white person thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I will say though, if you guys have ever been on like a premiere night of a horror movie, the people that are there Not a lot of white people.
Really?
And it's real funny.
Well, yeah. Anytime
It's some of the best viewing events because the audience is so reactive.
Yeah,
dude. I went and saw when I was dating in high school. I was dating this girl, and she was Latina, and so we went and saw La Llorona. Actually, I think I was out of high school, but it doesn't matter. But we went and saw it, and the audience, so reactive. I literally it showed a scene of a hallway, and it shows water dripping over a kid or something like that, and you just hear the family that's 2 rows back from us go, "Oh no, fuck that! Why the fuck would I be here?"
And I think I feel like that's how anybody, again, who mostly aren't white, usually end up getting through those movies. Because I went with my football teammates in high school and we went to go see Annabelle. And when the bitch gets tossed down the stairs by the fucking doll, and then she gets put in a wheelchair, and then the nun is like, "Oh, the little girl fell." My homie Jaxon was like, "Nah, that bitch got pushed down the stairs, bro." Yeah. Whole theater rolling, bro. Yeah, everybody's rolling in that bitch.
I do the same shit. I don't do it. I don't shout out to the theater because I'm never confident enough that I'll
make everybody
laugh. I'll farm enough little W's on that front. But whenever it's just me and fucking damn it, when it's just me and the homies or whatever, I'm the whole time I'm snap at them so I can make it through.
I feel like that's how most people get through a horror movie.
Yeah, there's okay, I don't have a problem watching any horror movies that aren't based off of true events. You know what I mean? I'll watch Haunted House or Paranormal Activity. You know what I mean? Stuff like that because I just think it's it's stupid. All the Insidious, the
Exorcist.
Yeah, all of those ones, it's nah. But I feel in the ones that aren't based off of true events, there's a lot of things that happen where it's why would you do that? You know what I mean? When you have an opportunity to walk out the front door and they go and hide in the kitchen, it's
Scream.
Yeah.
Well, that's my
slasher movies are really good for that.
You've met my Uncle Barry, the cop. He went with his ex-wife to I don't know if it was The Exorcist or Insidious, one of them, but he always wore a cross necklace. And when they walked into the movie, they sat down, and as soon as the intro came up for the movie, and it said, I forgot which movie it was, but it said the title of it, his cross literally broke in half.
Nah, out of there, gone. I'm out of there.
No, I'm so serious. They literally looked at it they did not bullshit, no nothing, because he had to go buy a new necklace. He was like, "I shit you not, my necklace snapped in half." He was like, "Me and my wife got out of there so fast." No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Welcome to the horror movie hour.
Gone.
Yeah,
so quick. I'm crazy. Out of there.
What are we at? 30?
Just about.
Hell yeah. What a nice
It'll be a little
intro.
bit of a longer episode. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's dive in. Kobe, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, bro. The question I asked earlier, how would you introduce Sir Kobe Smith? What do you do? Who is he?
I would say a short response. I'd just say a creative, obviously that could go a lot of ways, but I feel I go a lot of ways. I feel
Yeah, you play for both teams, huh?
Kobe did say he would take a load.
Bro.
For the homies.
Bro.
Hey.
I would take a load for the homies if my life depended on it. If my life depended on it.
A caveat. Brendan said he wouldn't take a load.
Absolutely
Brendan said
not.
he wouldn't accept the load.
I would not.
Brendan said that if I got bit on my tip, he would not get the venom out for me.
Absolutely not.
That's kind of fake.
You're right.
That's fake love right there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would do it for you.
That's crazy.
Mac and shit.
Yeah, I think that's wild.
Mac and cheese.
Because I think at some point the venom would be out, but you would be convinced it's not. You know what I mean? And I think that's where my issue would be, and I think that's where I would draw the line there. Because if my toes start curling, then what do I do? You know what I
mean? Nah, toes curling is crazy.
Why are your toes curling?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm good.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. That's
hey,
so
from
crazy.
The homies, you know what I mean?
I can't believe you wouldn't do it, man.
Absolutely not.
Disrespectful.
I'm cool. I'm good. You're dying.
You're dead. You're done
dead.
for. See you in the next one.
Hey, I'll put you on a t-shirt, homie.
That's disrespectful.
That's okay. That's fine. It's fine. You can.
I'd accept the load for you. I'm a homie.
Yeah. I'm glad that you
clearly you see who the real ones are in the room.
I'm glad you guys would take the face shots, but guess who's not?
I didn't say that. I said I accept the load.
You didn't say how.
You're right. If that's where you wanted to go, I got you. Baby girl.
That is crazy. All right. What an intro for Kobe Smith. You know what I mean? Wow.
That's who Kobe is.
Yeah.
Taking loads for the homies.
I'm a load taker for the boys, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna.
That's what forklift drivers are called.
Hey, we're gonna link the OnlyFans right here.
Imagine. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll venture to OnlyFans one day. Who knows?
That'd be crazy.
I would.
I'm at that point, man. I need money.
Yeah, for real.
I think you'd make a good amount of money. We've already talked about this.
True.
I could be a star for real.
I think Kobe could be the top 0.01%.
I think your Snapchat story is like 2 steps away from it. So I mean,
2 steps away. Gym pictures and OnlyFans are 2 different things.
That's why I said 2 steps away.
Pants and underwear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're halfway there, man.
Pretty much.
You could end up like Adam 22. Just get your ass eaten on fucking camera.
Nah, because I would never get my ass ate, so that's crazy.
I think you genuinely would. I think if you had a girl who was bad enough, I think she would convince you to.
I think if a tongue went anywhere near my butthole, someone's getting punched in the forehead.
I think you should get a tattoo right above your butt that says lunchtime.
That would be crazy. That would actually be so crazy. Maybe one day.
Absolutely not.
Get tatted head to toe. Just that's lunchtime. That'd be so funny. Yeah. That'd be a funny story.
But anywho, getting into the actual thick of it, shit. I guess to start of like knowing that you wanted to do like a whole like social media thing and become like this person, and I guess like obviously this is, you know, us trying to give you like or I guess like give people who want to tap in with you and, you know, the things you are creating and stuff like that, kind of like a way into your mind and like really like understand like, all right, who's this person that, you know, I'm going to be either consuming their content or purchasing, you know, from whatever you end up, you know, creating and stuff like that.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And obviously, you know, you want to be able to know who you're fucking with and who you're rocking with. And obviously on your end, you know, you want to be able to connect with your people and kind of give that, you know, open door and, you know, let people know who you are and stuff like that. So I would say, like, from a starting point, like, when, at what age, or, you know, what point in your life did you start to create, like, this persona in your head and understand, like, all right, this is the person I want to be?
So I feel like music plays a big role into, like, everybody's lives, you know? Mm-hmm. And for, like, the longest time, I remember my mom would always crank, like, old school R&B jams, Jamaican music, stuff like that. And I always used to just, like, memorize lyrics like nonstop, left and right. And I always told my mom when I was a little kid, I was like, I'm gonna be on a stage one day. I don't know what it's gonna be for, but I'm gonna be on a stage one day. And that was when I was like really, really young. And it didn't really start coming into effect until I'd probably say right after graduation, you know, because everybody's going to college, everybody's doing their thing, getting their regular life just set up. And for me, it was like, didn't know for what, but that I would be there someday. And I feel like that's like, you know, just a little spark of like curiosity about it. And then obviously, you know, as people are like leaving high school, when people are going to college,
the dog, dude, fucking losing its mind.
Yeah. I've like tuned it out at this point, but I forgot it was there.
That's funny. Is it your dog or no?
No, I don't
it's just some random dog.
It's just the neighbors. I'm pretty sure.
Just punt it. Okay.
Yeah,
it is a little.
It sounds little. But yeah, I think right after like high school, I was kind of in a spot where I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I did not want to go to school, but I see everybody else going to school. I see everybody, you know, getting into careers or just like in party scenes and stuff like that, and it really wasn't my wave at all. And so I kind of took a shot of using like my persona, my personality, just to try to build something for myself, which started, you know, YouTube, which led to like the clothing line, which led to everything as a whole. But I would say from like graduation, you know, you just have people, like I feel like people's personalities fit different things, you know what I mean? And I just think that a lot of people were telling me at that time, you should try it. And so I gave it a shot and I fell in love with it.
Yeah, speak on your clothing line. That's the new, the hot tea, right?
Yeah. L4N, It's a brand I've been working on for a while. I had one of my friends pass away a couple years back. Rest in peace, Nate. Love you, bro. And since he had passed, it changed my perspective on a lot, just with life and opportunities, you know. And so I had L4N like posted everywhere. I got it tattooed, and it was for Nate. It was Live for Nate. And so everything I was doing, I would just try to live my life to my fullest, pretty much like for him, because obviously he's not here to do that. And then I started like, I just wanted to be more, you know, I just wanted to make more of it and like build a legacy around him and stuff. And so I created L4N, meaning live for now. And it's just a way of life, a movement where I feel like people can just express themselves. They could do what they want. They could share moments with loved ones and just do everything in the present, because you really never know like when like the end is, you know, for anybody. So just the branding behind it as a whole is just like tomorrow's not promised. So like just live for now, you know? And so that's what I've been working on, man. It's beautiful. It truly is beautiful.
That's a really good message. Like that's I'm sure Brendan could attest to this, but like that's literally the shit that I say all the time.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like you don't know when your time is up. Like you don't know what that looks like. So just take every day and live it like it's your last.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think it goes to, you know, those anytime like we've talked about like the motivational like videos and stuff like that. A lot of like the SEALs, let alone like David Goggins or Jock, that big bald-headed white dude that was a SEAL.
Vin Diesel. Don Toretto.
He was like the biggest thing I always told my guys, like advice-wise, was like, can you see your next step? Like, can you see your foot go in front of you? And every time I was like, yeah. He's like, then that's all you have to fucking worry about is like the just going the next step in front of you. Don't ever worry about stopping or going, looking back behind you. It's just always about the next step in front of you. And I think that's something that like all three of us have kind of like slowly acquired and like realized, especially at like as young as we are. And I feel like that's why like, I don't know, all of us kind of like look around. We always talk about it like about like the NPC kind of like culture that we see around us and like how like unmotivated and like undriven they're so like around us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Especially like the people our age is like.
Kobe, how old are you?
I am fresh 21.
Fresh 21? Damn, I am old.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
Because I'm an old 21.
All right.
How old are you, Grandpa?
I'm 1 foot in the grave. I've been around since the old gods, dude.
Yeah, bro.
I've been here for millennia.
You were like, bro, I was here when TV was black and white, dog.
No, I was here when the dinosaurs were around.
Yeah, you're right.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, what the F?
But I always tell people, like, yeah, no, I've just been around forever, man. I've been around since the old gods.
Yeah,
old soul.
Yeah, when I met him, I thought he was like 24, 25.
Well, everybody thinks you're fucking 30, bro.
Well, that's because I have a beard.
Like,
that's different.
All my friends call me old because I know useless information and I have creaky body.
Yeah, he also acts like a 56-year-old man, so, yeah.
It's a little uncalled for, man.
You're the type of person to like brew like herbal tea and like do the fucking and do the fucking, you know what I mean? Do a whole like kumbaya.
You know, now that I don't have to lead this episode, I kind of have to just let you figure out what we're asking him. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm a lot funnier.
Just because you have time to like sit.
Yeah, just because I'm not thinking about.
You enjoy it, right? Yeah. You enjoy it. This is why I'm able to just fire off with just bullshit because I ain't got to worry about how we're carrying it. Yeah, no, it's a great time. I'm glad that I can just kind of give you that moment over there.
You notice how we haven't really talked about you a whole lot, though?
Well, because we kind of bounce around. I kind of let us always bounce around.
We have a good time, though.
But, I mean, we started off with the clothing brand and kind of like, obviously, you talking about like your L4N and, you know, the idea of it.
Yeah.
When does come out? When clothing?
L4N drops this weekend.
This weekend. So as of the drop of this episode... that'll be in
2 days.
2 days, yeah. So the 31st or 30th, or the 1st.
It's whatever the Saturday is. I don't even know what the date is.
The 1st. Yeah, so April 1st. So 3 days.
Yeah, and make sure you send.
Jeez, is it really only 3 days?
Well,
from the drop. I was wait a minute. I was like, dog, I did not think we were that close.
I gotta not be here.
We drop our videos on Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday, yeah. I was like, bro, what?
But make sure you send me the link for your website so that way I can plug it in here. So that way,
in other words, he can send it to me so I can plug it in here.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah. So that way, obviously, it's up and running when, by the time they see this, they can go to the website. They won't be able to order anything, but at least they have the link for the website.
Bet.
But yeah, I mean, that's super exciting. Obviously, like, how does this kind of go hand in hand with, like,
how you feeling, man?
Your ultimate plan in life?
My world domination plan?
Yeah.
That one?
Your fucking takeover plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think a part of everything that I kind of want to do now just feeds like my inner kid, you know? It's like everything that I didn't get to do or everything that I want from life that I wanted to do as a child. It's just like pushing for me to be able to do those things. And so like with YouTube, it's being able to just like have fun and enjoy stuff like with my friends and living in the moment and just, you know, messing around. I love messing with people. I don't know why, something about it just gives me a little serotonin boost, you know.
Good little giggle.
Yeah, it gives me a good little chuckle. But yeah, like I want to get, you know, a content house. I want to have like all my friends together and just let us do our thing and
I
everybody.
just heard Brennan's brain fucking fire off. He's been bugging me.
Yeah, dude. I think it'd be dope. Like if you have a bunch of creatives working together towards the same goal who genuinely like are there for each other, who are genuinely friends.
I just think my only thing with it, rather than, because the kind of way I like mentioned it to him is like, I almost don't, if we were to get a house, I almost don't want everyone to be agreeable
creators.
or content creators.
Trap
because if everyone is agreeable or if everyone is like kind of like, oh yeah, like I'm in it for this, like yada yada this and that, then at some point they start, but we've seen it in every like org or every content house that ends up like, even if one person, I think the people who've done it obviously a great job is A&P, and we've seen Kai do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, there's other people in the house, but they also know that like Kai's that dude, so they're all willing to be like, go crazy, Kai, and we'll do our thing and kind of like, you know, capitalize where we can and stuff like that. But this is like Kai and Kai himself has never like shortcutted one of his homies. You know what I mean? Or he's never like done one of his homies like dirty. And I think that's something that's like we've seen and kind of like obviously we see the blueprint for it and see how they've done it and stuff like that. And I think it's very achievable, 110%.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Obviously, like kind of like how I said, you guys have been big like motivating factors for me. Something that I've always not envy you, but kind of like been always jealous about was like your attack mindset, and like you are foot to pedal, like foot on neck, like no fucks given about anything. Like if you have a goal in mind, like and you see blood, you're after it. You know what I mean? By all means necessary. And I think like my biggest thing is like, you know, we kind of see like whether it be with like Andrew Tate or like David Goggins or like, you know, depending on like, who you like to pick, like to kind of like view and stuff like that. At what point, like what caused you to kind of like have that mindset from an early age? Because you've always kind of had like, even in high school, like, you know, you being the hothead motherfucker that you were, and you know, always kind of like carrying around like this, like I'm the biggest dude, like biggest baddest motherfucker around. Like what caused you to have that growing up, or you know, what was it kind of like that turning point?
I think it's obviously like I don't think it's anything that somebody chooses. I feel like it's like a natural instinct that comes, and I feel like from situations, you know, like family wise and stuff like that, it's kind of just made me be more like dependent on myself. Like nobody's there to help you, and if your back's against the wall, like you have nothing left to do but like fight. And so bro, it's gonna crack one of these times.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking
Was that like 4 or 5?
Dude, that's literally like 5, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, I think that just like when you don't have a choice between like, you don't have a way to go back, you really just have to go forward, you know? And if there's nothing to turn to, if there's nobody to turn to, you just have to get it on your own. And so I feel like I developed that mindset where, you know, where you have to go get it no matter what it is. You know, and obviously like it's not the prettiest thing. I think ugly situations make beautiful people. And everything like attests to me becoming the person I am today, you know?
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I don't know. It's just like we always see, because something that we've talked about on the pod before is you know, having like the difference between of like toxic masculinity and then, you know, still being a quote unquote man. And that's something that me and you have talked about before. And I know like something that I told you like recently, like that I was proud of is the fact that you've noticed the difference of I'm still able to be, you know, quote unquote alpha, but not be a fucking asshole about it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people who try and be like this big brute force, but people they want to be respected out of fear rather than being being feared and respected is different than just being respected strictly out of fear. You know what I mean? Because if you're respected and people know not to fuck with you, there's a difference. Like that dude's got the flip to be able to fucking break somebody's neck, but I respect him because he's still a good man. You know what I mean? And I think that the difference of like watching that between some of the, I guess, influencers out there, and understanding that like there are some men who are really shitty men and still have a good following, and then really solid men who are still like the aggressor. You know what I mean? And I don't know what caused you to kind of finally like, not to say that you were the asshole, but you kind of were the asshole.
I definitely was an asshole.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of, and you know, finding that kind of like middle ground. You know what I mean? Like if you had any advice or I guess like for other like people who are just strictly assholes or maybe people who are too soft. You know what I mean? Like how would you find that middle ground?
Dude, I think that life just makes you find that middle ground. You know what I mean? I think if you are that asshole, there will be a day where you get humbled. Whatever it may be, I think that you will get humbled at some point. And then for people who just like are too afraid to like lead, just don't like it's as tough as it sounds, like you gotta just stick by like something that you truly believe in, something that's worth fighting for. You know what I mean? And if you have something that you can stand for, just keep pushing that message no matter what. So I don't think it's bad to be quote unquote like soft. You know what I mean? I think that some people are meant to lead and some people are meant to follow. And I think that you could tell who's got that energy.
I don't think leaders are necessarily, I think leaders are selected, not formed. I don't think that you can force yourself to be a leader. I think that you just kind of are.
Yeah.
And then I think great leaders are formed, not selected. Because if you have to be a leader, you have to be a leader to be a great leader. So you're already a part of that group of like, I have the natural skills to be a leader, but a great leader has to want to be a great leader. They have to be somebody who strives for it.
Yeah, and that's something that like, especially from a man's standpoint, I think it's like growth for us and what we look for in growth is obviously completely different from, I think everybody looks for personal and self-growth, but I think like obviously like we can only speak from a man's perspective. So that's why I try and always like go like and only really speak about that, because I hate to like either say something that is incorrect or like over assume something or anything like that. But I think from a man's standpoint, like I always see the clips of whether it be Andrew Tate or Joe Rogan or Goggins or anything like that. Like we're born in this world with no purpose and no value. And life for a man is finding your purpose and value. And I think that at some point it's like when you do find that purpose and value and something to fight for, what? No, go ahead, counter on it. Go ahead, talk your shit.
Keep going.
No, I just think that like we have to find our purpose and value, and like you said, like something worth fighting for. You know what I mean? And finally, like once you finally find something to sink your teeth in, and like this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to fight for, and this is what I'm gonna be defined by. Like if I were to die, like this is what I'm gonna give my dying last breath to. I think that like as long as that's for you what it is, you know what I mean, and you understand like that's everything for you. You know what I mean? Fuck everybody else. Like fuck all the opinions and everything else. I'm like waiting for you to like butt in and say your part.
How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
I think that Tate is very intelligent. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that everything that he says is correct. I don't think that not everything that anybody says is 100% correct.
He says the same thing I did. Because I told him, I was like, the shit that he says, it's about 75% to 80% true. The rest of the fallacy and bullshit that he says is because he needs the views, and that's where he gets his monetization and like his clips and stuff like that. But his argument is younger men don't know how to depict the differences. And absolutely, I understand that, but that's also where they're going to learn as they grow up.
Or they won't.
Yeah, and then the world eats them alive at some point. Because if you
Does it?
Yeah, because if you think you're somebody, and to a certain point, the world is going to check you. And that's how that shit works, especially for a man. Because you're going to think you have this certain power, and you're going to keep doing shit, and you're going to keep fucking inching and inching until the universe is like, hey, bud, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you are not him.
You're wrong.
What do you
seen
mean?
Most of our government?
Yeah.
They're mostly people that do that.
Yeah, but they all have millions of dollars and have successfully rigged this or beat the system. We're talking.
So is your term of success a morality question or is it financial?
It doesn't matter what I think. Success from this world has been built off rigging the system and beating everything that has been set up in front of us.
No, it does matter.
It doesn't. Because if success to me and getting where I want to means that I have to play a certain game, and then when I'm at where I want to at the top, can completely do what I think is right. But that's how everybody treats this shit. Everybody at the top right now.
I actually do have a question about that. What do you define as success? Because I think success, like he said, it can be like morality or like who you are and things that you want, or it can be from like a financial standpoint.
Because your version of success sounds like it's financial based. My version of success is I'm happy in doing something that I love and I can be comfortable doing that.
You just asked me about the government, though.
No,
you think anybody in the government is happy?
I pointed out that you said that the people who like learn from the shit part of Andrew Tate and take all the shit that is bad are like a lot of our governors who we have both agreed are not good people. And I think you know the specific people that I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I think the people who don't know how to interpret what he says are, I was saying, younger men.
Yeah, and my point, but you said they get checked. I'm saying they don't because now they're governors. So they're living cushy lives. They didn't get checked. They're living their life because they played that game and were shitty people. I'm saying you're wrong and your point is dog shit and you proved me right.
I guess, and if that, I don't know. I feel like that's not how I see it though. Because a lot of if you look at the people in our government and the people who actually came up in like a political process, usually got backed by some type of family. Their family's already in that. They're already born evil from that stand. Most people in politician in that family are, again, like family oriented. Somebody in their family is a politician. That evil kind of runs in that bloodline. Tate is, if you look at his father, he was a fucking chess player. You know what I mean? Like, Tate had to build most of his shit based off of probably some shady-ass things, whether it be building a casino or his webcam shit. But if you look at what Tate's done, a lot of his shit that he started up wasn't really, like, he hasn't had any shady shit to follow it. Most politicians, anytime that they've gone through, usually have a paper trail. They just don't get called out for it because the people across the other side do just as bad shit.
Mine is more a morality question, not that part of it.
Yeah, and morally, right, Tate just says bullshit. He doesn't actually do it.
Well, what? So I'm assuming you're on the other side of like Tate. Like, you don't agree with him a lot.
Think he's a really shitty person.
I think
why? Based off of what, though?
I think that the idealisms that he really pushes are really bad. I think
like the traditionalist belief system.
Yeah, and some of the other unsavory things, like about women and things, can be really lead to really negative impacts on people who are easily influenced.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have these group of people who go around and are like, all women are hoes and, you know, fuck all these bitches, like all this other shit, right? Mm. You create inherently a regressive society. You're returning back to a society we already lived in. We already saw how it went. And while, yes, his like mindset on like profiteering and understanding how to work a system and how important drive is and stuff, I think he's really smart on those fronts. And I think those are the things that you guys actually really take into account. I just look at the other aspects that I'm like, hey, these are the morality parts, the way that impact other people. And I think he does not give a fuck because it benefits his
image.
Yeah. Because it gets his word out there more. Mm-hmm. And Brendan will say that that's on the user or the consumer to dictate and be able to discern what is the bad stuff and to take that out and
Yeah, because you're concerned like when you say his disrespect to women, he's like, oh yeah, all these women are hoes, yada yada, this and that. But then he goes and also says that as a woman, if you have no respect for yourself, why should I give you the same respect that you think you deserve? He always cuts these fucking arguments in half. Anytime he talks to a woman, they're like, I think you should be, a little bit more respectful when you talk about this, and that. And he's like, okay, well, do you respect yourself to this point? You know what I mean? And then he always ends up finding some type of way to basically completely flip their entire argument on them. And then I think that when he talks about the certain women of calling them hoes, he's not disrespecting every single woman out there, because he also comes and say, when I find a woman who can, obviously, again, that it depends on if you believe in the whole traditional, system and stuff like that. But how many girls can whip up in the kitchen better than you can? Me and you always talk about being able to cook as a man, yada yada, this and that. You could probably go ask 10 different girls if they actually know how to cook and like throw down in the kitchen at our age, and you're probably gonna get like 2 or 3 of them.
I will say that I also grew up in a really different environment. I grew up around all strong women who are very independent.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing that he's also came out and said. He's like, I have no beef with how you want to live your life and, do your thing. But if you're going to ask for one thing and then act a different way, he's like, you basically just completely rebuttal it.
My issue is more that, again, the impressionable people take the really degenerate part, the part that is regressive, and that puts you back to a thing that we've already been through. We've already done the history of. And then you end up in the same situation where these people do all this awful shit and have only taken the negative aspects. They haven't taken any of the, whatever you want to say, positive or whatever, like the more progressive aspects of it. They've only taken that shit that makes them kind of not a good person, or like a more harmful societal-wise person.
I can see that. I think it does come down to the interpretation of it, because obviously we're at a point where all three of us can understand what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that ability. Some people are way easier, just follow.
Which is why I always pose, is it not also on the responsibility of the content creator to acknowledge that your words have power?
Mm-hmm.
And so the way you word things and the more you fill it, is that not your responsibility and your cause?
Yeah, I think that I think as a creator as a whole, you have to really think about your image and who you can reach, because with the internet you can reach millions of people.
But I also think that's on the person creating the content, because from jump he's always been this month. I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. I don't give a fuck about what you feel about me. Yada yada. I'm gonna say how I feel. It's different when you're a content creator and you know that you have a certain following and you actually care about what.
I want to go back 3 weeks when we had the same conversation on this podcast, and Brendan just countered his fucking argument from that episode. Because you, 3 or 4 weeks ago, said it's on the viewer's part. It is their problem to interpret.
Yeah, it is on. It's their. No.
But then you just said that it's the content creator's part. Ah!
No, listen. It's on the. Look. Because you said from a creator's standpoint, you have to understand who's following you, yada yada, this and that, and the image and stuff like that you create. I'm saying from his beginning, he gave no fucks about who followed him, what he was doing. He just said what he felt, right, and what he did, the lifestyle he lived, yada yada, how he got there, boom boom boom. But he didn't give a fuck who followed him, who was paying attention to it, until he actually started catching some fucking traction, and then realized it's working. What I was saying, to interpret what he puts out is based off of the people consuming that content. You get out of what you want from that. And if they're so easily influenced, again, they're going to have to realize at some point they're going to get checked. Not everyone is going to end up somebody in the government. Yeah, there's going to be some who slips through the crack, who can be a piece of shit their entire life and get through it. That's how this works. That's what America's based on. Is pieces of shit who has come to another land, murdered, raped, fucking pillaged. That's this entirety of the fucking country. So that's out of the window. The whole moral thing, all of that shit for America in general, out of the fucking window. Everything that we see.
Why does it matter?
That's what I was trying to say. It should only matter to you. It doesn't matter to anybody else. If it matters,
why does it matter to you if you've already admitted it doesn't matter? You've already admitted this game sucks. All right, everybody sucks, and the shittiest people win. That's what you just told me.
Yeah, so you got to learn how
so
to
why
play
does
shitty.
what you have matter?
It matters to me, and that's all it should matter to.
So, is your sense of worth in monetary, personal effects, or morality?
You know, if I actually knew what those words probably meant.
Kobe, where are yours? This is not where I thought this episode would go.
Yeah, I was gonna say we completely kind of took a right turn into where I didn't think we were gonna end up.
I honestly think like a solid mix, to be honest, because
Healthy.
yeah, because it's like I want to give back, and I feel like giving back is like morality. You know, like you being like a good person and you like helping other people. I feel like that's your morality. I think like self-gain is obviously like something that I want to, because you can't be selfless without being selfish.
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
Yeah. Yeah, go. What were you gonna say?
No, I said Mr. Beast-esque.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, yeah, like Mr. Beast wouldn't be able to give back or have all these charities or foundations that he creates and helps if he didn't have a platform.
Which is why it's wild that he's getting so much backlash.
He's getting backlash?
Yeah, he's got like the most hate he's ever gotten in the past month.
Oh, because of like the
not just the eyes thing. He made another video. I don't remember what it was about, and everybody's flipping shit because they're like,
I think it's because he was creating like shoes or something like that for a third world country. These kids literally couldn't go to school because they had to walk and they didn't have any shoes. So he created and obviously took a video of him making shoes, sending shoes out there and getting them. And everyone is crying in there and thanking him so much, yada, yada, this and that. And then everyone was like, oh, he uses to get views and help these poor people rather than just helping them. And everyone goes, are you fucking idiots? Do you know what his channel's based off of? Like, he literally blew up off of just giving people random money and then putting it online. Like, that's what his entire... Yeah, so that whole shit is stupid.
One of, like, the first things that I heard you guys talk about is, like people doing acts of kindness, like, on camera.
You know what I mean? Does that make them a good person?
Yeah, and I don't think that coming, like, full circle. I don't think that you doing acts of kindness on camera makes you a good person. But I also think that what his, like, logic is based off of, I'm not Mr. Beast, so I obviously can't speak on his behalf. But, like, if he wants to make a difference and impact the world, you have to do that in, like, a correct way. And I think with the amount of, like, because obviously everything does come down to money. I feel like at the end of the day, like, everything comes down to money. Financial freedom, time, giving back to people. Like, if you're not financially stable,
super open about it, about like how much he reinvests back into everything.
And if you don't have money coming in, and if you're not financially stable, if you're not set financially, you don't have the ability, I feel like, to help people or go out of your way to do things. Obviously, like, I don't know how far along like you guys are in understanding like everything on like a social media side is a business still, you know what I mean? And so for him, he has 50,000 channels. He still has 50,000 accountants working. Yeah. He has 50,000 LLCs. So it's like all the stuff that he does on camera, it's all like write-offs and it's all deductibles and stuff like that. But Mr. Beast doesn't, like, he profits a lot of money, but he doesn't take a lot for himself.
Yeah.
And so when he's doing all these things and he's giving back, people could say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's not their business.
Yeah, and it's not like he's driving around. Like, he's talked about it on Andrew Schultz's podcast. And he's like, it's not like I'm out here driving in Ferraris and fucking dressed out in Gucci and fucking shit. He's like, I wear my own shit. He was like, I drive a fucking normal ass car. And he was like, because I have to pay for everything else. And I always put back into the business, or I'm always giving something away. He was like, the amount of shit and money that I'm allowed to spend, let alone make, he was like, I usually end up spending it like that, like as soon as I get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's talked about a time where he's had to take out a loan for like $100,000 or something like that, or he used all the money in his bank account, hoping that he would be able to get that money back from a video and something had happened where he was basically iced out for like 2 weeks because he was just waiting for something to hit or some bullshit. Like he talked about it on Andrew Schultz, and it's like he was still at a big point in his life and his career and stuff like that, and it's like it's fucking crazy to know that like someone who basically is the biggest person on YouTube, who is like technically could be living and doing whatever the fuck he wants, and he's just living a not normal, but normal-esque.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not normal until it's normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say I strive to make like that my norm, you know, and I think that comes back to a part of it, like financially with like material things. You don't have to be a materialistic person, but I feel like materials definitely like help happiness.
Yeah,
You know
money
what I mean?
money don't buy happiness, but it definitely buys the fucking doors.
Yeah. And so it's like I want to get to a point where it's like I can look at everything that I've created along the way and know that like I've put people in positions where they could like make their own, and when they could get their own stuff situated, that I'm happy that like the legacy lives on forever, and I just have freedom to do what I want, you know? Like I want to be, 60, 70, whatever, telling my grandkids like, oh yeah, like I got to do this, like go do it for yourself now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's
still want
where
to be
like
70, just banging 130 fucking on the freeway and shit like that.
Yeah, I want to be able to just like, okay, not look, go cash out on like a Ferrari. You know what I mean? And like call up my boys, and everybody in my circle at that point is like successful because of like one way or another. And it's like, hey guys, what are you guys doing? Okay, let's all go meet here in our Ferraris and have lunch and just like enjoy life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like financials take care of stress. Stress comes to the happiness. When you don't have to worry about things, you could focus about being a good person. But I don't think you need those things to be a good person.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think that being a good person is something that you already have to have innately prior. Also,
But 100%.
yeah, because like it doesn't come one after the other. But anyway,
No.
ooh, wild time.
Yeah. And obviously, we definitely steered off for a while, just kind of getting into it. But I don't know. I think why I kind of argue so much about it and like stand so strong on like being like this like, I guess like strong dude man and still being like a man's man is only because like you were a big part of it, and not like an asshole way, but it was just more of like a dude like. It's all the clips that we see of like I mentioned it last episode when Joe Rogan said I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, and it's like I'd rather have the ability to flip that trigger and become a fucking monster, and not physically or like violently, but like in every aspect of life, like whether it be profiting for financials or being a good person and being able to inflict that like dominance of like, bro, like this is like right or wrong, you know what I mean? And being able to hold other people accountable in your life, you know what I mean? Because like there's people who aren't leaders enough in their own lives to hold other people around them accountable, so therefore they're not held accountable. You know what I mean?
We talked about it for a long time. Him like mentioning me doing that. Like Brendan for a long time, not to like out you, but Brendan for a long time like was at a point I feel like where you were just like comfortable.
Yeah.
And he was just like, okay, just like
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and just being in. And so in that point in time, I felt like because like I said, you're kind of like forced into situations a lot, and the way like my mind has like always been shaped is like nobody's coming to help you, nobody's saving you, like you have to get it on your own. And so when he was getting like really comfortable, I was always good save.
That's my ring.
Oh, I thought that was your phone again.
No, it's my ring.
I was like, this fucking guy.
I was always just like, I was trying to be that person. I was just like reaching like, yo, like nobody's coming to save you. Like you have to get it on your own. Like, and like, it's now or never. Like no waiting around for tomorrow, no bullshitting. Like it has to start today. Yeah. And I was always just trying to like instill that, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so he's at a point now where I'm proud as fuck, bro.
Appreciate it.
And he's just like at that point where it's like, you know what you have to do to execute.
Have you guys heard the song? I'm sure you have because you guys all have absorbed TikTok. Mm-hmm. The song "Soldier Poet King."
Can you sing it?
It's like a female singer, and she's like, it has different verses for everybody, but it's like, ole, 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 Lord, He will burn your city down, ole, ole.
I feel
Lord.
like I know what you're talking about, but
not a damn
not
clue.
Enough to know what it is.
Not a damn clue.
So there's a whole theory behind it, but anyway, I feel like just because of something he touched on really quick with like the manliness thing, I feel like that is a great representation of all three of us right now, of like soldier, king, poet. Because I feel like that is kind of a very clear indication of our view on manliness and where we currently are at in like that journey all. And I say that mostly, and obviously I only know you so well, but Brendan has said to me multiple times that we're like the same side of a coin. In the fact that we view a lot of things the same, but our execution is extremely different most of the time. And like even just talking to you for this hour has kind of been like a little bit of an inclination of like, okay, like you clearly have,
because he's always known of you either from what I've told him or from opinions of
Dutch people.
Yeah, of Dutch people. And Dutch people, and that's exactly why, because Dutch people are either feel one way about you or the other. You know what I mean? Either, I love Kobe, he's such a cool human being, or that's the biggest dickhead I've ever met in my life.
Dickhead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because
I would love the idea also that the audience just hears us talk about Dutch people, and they're like, yeah, fuck the Dutch people. Like,
oh my God, dude.
all those people from Dutch, the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's why, like, I always told him is, like, I was like, bro, like, I can't wait for you guys to meet, because, again, like, kind of like how he said, you guys are, like, the opposite side of the same coin. Is, like, he's very technical and, like, logical from a standpoint, and you think everything out, but as soon as you think out the plan, you run through everything that you need possible. And him, he kind of, like, tiptoes around it, but still with that same kind of, like, execution and excision on it. And so that's why it's always been like super spooky for me, is because like as soon as like you give me the headstrong advice of like take that shit by the horns, he's always like think about what the fuck you're doing, you know what I mean? And so kind of having that mix is like I've been lucky enough, but obviously like, which is why I kind of wanted y'all to meet and stuff like that and have you on the pod and stuff like that. But I don't know, I think it'd be dope for content wise, like obviously to be able to make a whole bunch of shit and really get into it.
Sorry we didn't talk a whole lot about like
I mean,
we didn't really have a whole lot planned, but
yeah, no, we're good. It was a good talk, good conversation.
I feel like it was just one of those like late night type of talks.
Yeah, it's just a little vibe.
Yeah,
it's kind of the vibe of the podcast.
Yeah, and I feel like once it does drop, if you do want to come back on, obviously, we're more than welcome to come back on or have you on, and then I can rock a shirt. I can get you a shirt.
Yeah.
So
but till then, let's come up. All right. Feels good, man. Friend died? Want to talk about your wifey?
Oh, facts. Bro.
Why is the goal to
my
be famous?
Plan, right? So this is my plan, though. Famdom. So that I recently came across this woman,
Drop her name.
Yeah, on my YouTube shorts. Her name is Sarah Safari, and she is just a Greek goddess of a woman. I'll tell you what. She's shredded, like, to a T, and she got that thing on her still, for sure. But I think what did it for me is, like, the clips with her and Bradley Martin is, like, she's one of the goofiest fucking people out there, like, on social media, and, like, you can tell, like, she's not one of those girls that like try and act a certain way. Like she's just trying to work out and like crack jokes. Like it almost like gives you like one of the guys type of vibes. But she's also so fine where I was like, bro, what the fuck?
So if you met a fine dude,
I hate you so
much. Would you take a load for him? Would you?
I hate both of you.
Would you
so
accept
much.
the load?
I hate both of you so much. I hope you know that.
Answer the question.
Anyway, no, I wouldn't. Anyway, my goal is, right, because I've been trying to, get my physique straight and stuff like that, is I'm just going to get absolutely fucking yoked out, shredded out, and vlog the entire thing and do it for her. And then when I'm fucking at prime. You don't think that
she would love you for you, man?
I don't give a fuck if she loves me.
You're trying to objectify yourself? You're just a body?
I'm just a piece of meat.
You don't think that she love you for you, man?
Well, I think that she wouldn't know who the fuck I
think
am.
You're a lovely man.
Well, I do too. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But she doesn't know who the fuck I am at all. So I have to get her to notice me somehow. And I think that would be a fantastic way.
Kobe, who's your celebrity crush?
Margot Robbie.
I wouldn't even. She's not even a celebrity like that.
A micro celebrity.
What the fuck?
What
do you mean? I mean a celebrity? Her. I thought you were talking about Margot Robbie. I was like,
fuck Margot Robbie.
What?
No, Margot Robbie was in Wolf of Wall Street.
You gonna see the Barbie movie?
No, definitely not.
What?
Definitely
She's
not.
in it though.
Yeah, I'm
gonna go.
See the clips.
I'm gonna wear a suit.
Ain't no way. You wouldn't be a whole Ken ass motherfucker.
That's facts. That's funny.
You should walk around in a plastic box.
That's too much work.
That'd be funny.
I think that shit would be so funny. You should do a stream in a plastic box.
So it has to be like a smaller
Barbie hype stream. I'm just in a plastic box.
That would be
and I'm not doing anything. I just stand there on camera.
You have to get a bunch of Botox just so your face like can't move. You have to be like just still, just talking like a like a ventriloquist.
Well, you would just look like Madonna.
Oh, we gotta keep going. It's spooky recording now.
All right, celebrity crush. Micro. It has to be a micro celebrity though.
Sure. Yeah.
But, like, does Margot Robbie make the cut? Because he like.
I think Margot.
No, she was on Wolf of Wall Street. It's one of the biggest movies to ever fucking come out.
Okay, my bad. Let's see here. Does Sniper Wolf counts as a celebrity? I don't think she's like a
micro celebrity.
Yeah, that's a micro celebrity. Yeah, I'd say Sniper Wolf. Or what's that one girl that's in FaZe? You know who I'm talking about? There's a girl.
Calais, is it the goth one?
Yes.
Would she get tattooed all over her arms?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, she's bad as fuck.
She's fine as hell, and she just listens to Screamo on stream. She's just absolutely ripping people on COD.
Tearing apart.
Bro, she's good as fuck on COD.
Cold.
She is cold as fuck. Yeah. And she's always tweeting some horny ass shit, so I'm like,
oh, well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Anyway, what's your come up, brother?
Yeah, what are you gonna come on?
Your water story.
Oh yeah, Perrier. I just think that I like sparkling water. I don't know why, but like sparkling water I feel like it suits the mood. It just makes me feel more elegant than I need to be. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, crack open a nice Perrier, sit outside in the spring.
I remember the first time this motherfucker threw me a Perrier. It was like at his old crib, and he was like, "You want water?"
Can't do sparkling water.
Throws me a bottle of Perrier, really? And I was like, "Bro, what is this?"
Canadian, but I can't do like Perrier
or people give you the bubbly. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this shit.
I respect it.
Yeah, dude. You scared of bubbles? I'm kidding.
No. Scared of bubbles?
Hurt my throat. No. I don't know. I think it just got a weird taste.
It's just he's actually scared of water.
I am hydrophobic.
You're homophobic?
Hydrophobic.
I'm kidding.
But yeah.
Run that back. Clip it.
Podcast owner, homophobic. That's the title. No, yeah, Perrier, it's just nice. I don't know. And I think that, I don't know. It makes me feel like I have a higher stature than I need to be. It's not an ego boost because it's just effing water. Like, it's not that deep, but it's like something about it. Yeah, it just makes me feel
classy.
Bougie. Yeah.
Perrier, if you want some t-shirts, hit them up.
Yeah, for real. Perrier, where's my sponsorship at, bro? Come on.
For real.
I'll let me drink it. Well, I have a Fresca right now.
Yeah, I was like, don't look at what he's leaking.
Fuck Fresca. Throw this shit out.
Fuck your Fresca.
Yeah. But,
you want a Fresca? No. Fuck your Fresca.
But yeah, Perrier, I'm going to need that deal. I'm coming for it.
Hell yeah.
One way or another, I'm coming for Perrier.
That's what you got to do. You got to send them a tribute. Just fill a bunch of bottles.
He's already made
a wall bottle of cum-filled Perrier.
Hey, he's already made one of those videos and it went viral on YouTube.
What?
Hardest in the room, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I made a parody. My first what I thought was like a viral video on YouTube. It got like 4,000 views. It was when Travis Scott dropped Highest in the Room. You know that song?
Yeah.
When he dropped Hardest in the Room.
Yeah, when he dropped Highest in the Room, I made a parody to it called Hardest in the Room, and it was about beating your meat. And that got like 4,000 views, and I mean,
that's still pretty good for like.
Yeah, I was like, it was like a long, like the first one of my first few videos, bro, and it just gave me so much fuel.
Yeah, that's still 4,000 at starting is really strong.
4,000 at any point, I feel like is solid. I feel like people shouldn't get discouraged by any numbers because if you have 4,000 in a room, that room is filled. There's a lot of people there. You have 200 people in a room. There's a lot of people there. You know what I mean? I feel like you can't get discouraged by numbers.
True.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah. What are you coming up on?
Talk about D&D real quick. We're gonna make this quick because we're running out of light. D&D. So in the campaign, there's currently a Viva la Revolution going on. So they're currently trying to overthrow the empire of the place that they live in, and they basically got sent on a mission from the other place to the empire. And so their plan is to assassinate everybody and then take the king back to their land.
Jesus.
To try and make it to where they can end this war.
Just a genocide.
Well, they're trying to end the war. They're trying not to do genocide.
Okay. Whoa. Let me defend my side. Okay.
You want me to explain what you're about to defend first?
No. I'm gonna set up the occasion first, right? So we were at a very ceremonial dinner thing that the side that we're for is called the Concord, and we were basically at this huge dinner that we should have never been invited to, which honestly we were lucky to be at. And I was rizzing up the queen. I was dancing with her and everything like that, right? I was saucing up the queen, right?
Okay.
And then as we're getting into it, basically this huge galactic looking giant gets fucking broken and dropped into the middle of like the ballroom. And just starts absolutely fucking shit up. And this is
the most wild shit for him to hear.
And this is
my brain is like, I'm trying to
just think about it. Yeah. So it's like this huge giant that literally looks like Galaxy.
Okay.
All right. And it's a weapon created and controlled by the Empire.
Okay.
And so they drop.
You guys are on the opposing side of the Empire.
Yeah. They're at war right now.
Okay. And so the only way that fucking thing got in there is because they invited leaders from other continents and places to come to the Concord for that banquet.
Okay.
So we know that somebody else dropped that bitch in there, or somehow it got in there by somebody else. But as soon as it happened, the queen almost died.
A lot of people got really hurt, and a lot of people died.
Yeah, okay. And it was like a huge
All
attack
dignitaries.
it was a huge attack on not only the Concord, but of other leaders in different continents. So the queen's basically right hand was like, I want you guys to go kill the council and kidnap the king, bring him here alive. And so now we decided to do this in return. So they get into
the capital of the empire, and their solution is to create an illness and then dress up as plague doctors and go into the Capitol building and talk to the king's council and be like, hey, we've seen this in other places, we can help you guys. And then they're gonna fight them and take the king and get rid of the rest of the council in there, and that way they have the king and the war, right?
Okay. Sounds
pretty doesn't sound too bad, right?
Yeah.
People get a little sick. So the way that they're doing though is through basically like a poison for normal people. Problem is, real fucked it up. They killed in 7 days' time
3,000 people.
3,006 people. 7 days is a very short time for 3,000 people to die because they fucked it up. And so they just committed bioterrorism on the innocent people in the capital.
Just to solely get the king.
Yeah, and then our reasoning was if it was the other way around, they wouldn't have cared. So, fuck it. And it's war. There's no rules in war.
Yeah, pussy boy don't want war.
There's no rules in war. So, and the way D&D structures your moral code is like you have like
they're alignments.
Yeah, they're alignments. So you have like neutral, you have chaos, like the chaos side to it, and then you have the good side to it. And so like I started off as chaotic neutral, which means like I wasn't really like leaning on either side, but I'm kind of down for smoke and like bad shit to happen. Mm-hmm. And then we all got an alignment adjust, and I'm just straight chaos, and everybody else kind of came down a step.
Really quick should be said, it doesn't dictate your actions, it just dictates the actions you've been taking, which is why there's going to be an alignment shift next session as well, because they literally did bioterrorism.
Yeah.
On innocent people.
So straight chaos is going to be his
some of them are getting an evil alignment.
Oh, there's a new one? Or there's like
so
another one?
It's evil, chaotic, neutral, and then good, and then lawful good.
Okay.
And you can have two sets of alignments. So you can be like lawful neutral or lawful chaotic, which sounds like it doesn't make sense. But chaotic is basically like you're down to just cause a little bit of mayhem if it serves your purpose. Mm-hmm. It's very Machiavellian, which is like, the ends justify the means. But so everything kind of fits into those alignment charts.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm big like dictator vibes right now. Just right. I was raising up the queen and saucing her up. I was about to like take like heir to the next throne type shit with my seed, and
now she might have lost a leg.
And now she might have lost a leg, and now I gotta fuck a 3-dog
third leg.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. And now I gotta pipe a 3-legged
I can't believe
girl.
You wouldn't I can't believe you wouldn't accept seed. He would accept my seed if I was the queen. And I'm the DM, so I am the queen sometimes.
Yeah.
So you'd accept
in
my
theory,
seed.
you would take the
In
load.
theory, we're gonna
take-
have
you
to
take my
virtually
load.
play out the sex scene for it.
You'd accept my load. Oh, this is it. All right, Kobe, where can they find you?
Go ahead, YouTube Kobe Smith, Instagram The Real Kobe, and if you want to go ahead, tap in to L4N clothing everywhere.
Awesome. Sorry that the lights gave out.
It's all good.
Now we just have romantic mood lighting.
Hey, I'm half black, so you can still see a part of me.
There's so much to unpack in that. Brenda, where can they find you?
On Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, at KillerB420.
You can find me at ArcU at Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Not Instagram, though.
Fuck Instagram, I guess.
Amen.
And then you can find us at Coming Up for Air Cast on Instagram, Up for Air Cast on Twitter, and Coming Up for Air Podcast on TikTok.
Yep.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you again so much for being on, Kobe.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks for
guys.
being on.
I hope the
Appreciate y'all.
launch of your clothing goes well. Your merch.
Thank you.
Clothing, different, whatever.
Yeah.
Check that out this weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have you back on soon, kind of once things kind of kick off. I know we didn't really get to just really deep dive into everything, but I mean, I feel like it was a good talk.
Solid talk.
Hell yeah.
See you next Wednesday.